Let's talk about drawdown when it comes to futures trading. Now, if you haven't traded futures before, you're not going to know what drawdown is. But drawdown is basically the minimum balance that your account can have in your futures account before you lose the account. So as an example, I'm logged in right now to MyFundedFutures. This is an evaluation account. And you can see the key metrics right here, okay? Here's my target profit. So I need to make $3,000 in this account. Currently, I have just over $50,000, which is basically a new account. And the key number to understand is right here, minimum balance. So in this MyFundedFutures evaluation, it gives you a $2,500 drawdown. But something that you need to understand is, so the other day I made one little trade for $4, right? So instead of my minimum balance being $47,500, it has now gone up by $4. So the point is that your drawdown follows you. Now, in a previous video, I told you about Apex, which is one of the most popular prop firms because of all the leverage they allow you to use. But one of the biggest downsides of Apex is that their drawdown trails you during every trade. Whereas the drawdown in MyFundedFutures, in Top Step, and in Take Profit Trader, the other prop firms that I mentioned yesterday, the drawdown is only calculated at the end of the day. So that's way more advantageous for a day trader, in my opinion. Now, something that you also really need to understand. If you have a drawdown of $2,500, right? So the most you can lose from wherever you're at is $2,500. And that also means that, let's say you make $2,800 today. You have an amazing day and you're only $200 away from your target profit and you're feeling really good about yourself. You made $2,800. Well, guess what? Your minimum balance now also rises by $2,800. So instead of your minimum balance being $47,500, it's now like $50,300 or something like that, right? So the point is that trailing drawdown is always traveling with you. So if you have one bad day where you lose $2,000 in one day, then you lose your account. It doesn't matter how high you got your account unless you reach that target profit. So that's the thing that you have to understand about drawdown, is that it follows you. And that's a very key thing to understand, because I've had times where I was doing pretty well and then my account went down and it was to like 50,000 something and I blew my account because I wasn't keeping in mind the fact that I had already done well. So my drawdown was now way higher, and even getting back to even on the account around 50,000 would blow my account. So you have to understand that about drawdown. The other thing to understand about drawdown is just how easy it can be to blow your account if you start risking up, if you start trying to make up your losses. That's something that affects a lot of traders, myself included, is that we try to revenge trade. We try to make back our losses in the same day. We're just so angry that we took a loss. But this is a really easy way to blow that drawdown quickly. Because let's just say you lose, I don't know, $200 in a trade, and you try to get it back by maybe doubling up. You lose that trade now, and then you lose another one. Now you've already lost like $1,500 after a few losing trades that you're doubling up your size. And you just keep on going, and boom, now you're at 2,000, you blew your account. So something that you need to think about when calculating your drawdown is how many losing trades will it take to blow your account? And you want to try to give yourself enough of a cushion so that if you have a few days where you don't trade too well, you don't end up blowing your account. Now, I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but that's just something to keep in mind, okay? Drawdown is the number one challenging thing about trading futures accounts, and it's the number one thing that you have to always keep in mind when you are trading. Now, the drawdown is so key in the evaluation stage, but it's also key in the funded stage, because basically during the evaluation stage, you have to make that 3,000 and not lose 2,500 in this case from on MyFundedFutures from your best, most highest balance, right? Let's say you pass the evaluation phase. Well, in the funded phase, it's a similar issue before you can start taking out profits. In the funded phase, you'll have to make $2,000 and you won't be able to lose, I think it's $2,000. And before that happens, you still have that drawdown, right? You have that drawdown. You got to make the 2,000. Then you got to make more than the 2,000 to start taking money out. And we can talk about how the funded accounts work and how to take profits. But I just wanted to make this video and talk to you about drawdown, and I hope that is helpful.